Hey there, witches. So today's video, I wanted to talk about a question that got asked over on my Facebook group, which is called Moonstone Witchery. You can find us on Facebook. We have the little banner with the yellow witch in the background. There was a question about cleansing a new home, and I actually offer home cleansings as part of my business, and I recently did one. So I thought I would just pop over, make a quick video, and share with y'all what it is that I do when I am cleansing a new home or cleansing a space. So I do a lot of different things when I'm cleansing a home or cleansing a new space. And it doesn't have to be a new space. Like, this is all good cleansing in general. So everyone knows that you can light some sage. I actually don't have any with me, but bundle of sage, light it. Don't be afraid to really blow on that sage bundle to get it to smoke a lot. Caution, obviously, if you are lighting a sage bundle and it's smoking a lot and you're consistently blowing on it to keep those embers going, that the little embers will fall everywhere, and there will be ash and embers that are on fire. So you have to be really careful when you're saging a space in a really kind of intense manner like that. And I like to really shake it, but when you're shaking it, pieces are flying. So be aware of that. Along with that, the other things I did is, here's a thing that no one's ever really thinking about. Your home has an energy unto itself. Your home has its own vibration. Your home has its own spiritual energetic field. And so does your land. Like, the property that the home is on has its own energetic vibration as well. And so what I like to do is honor and recognize that energetic vibration. Now, those of you who have read that book, what is it called? Like, The Art of Giving Away Your Stuff. The lady who sits there and goes does this bring you joy? Does this not bring you joy? And sorts through all your belongings. She touches on a topic that I think is really important. She says, introduce yourself to your house. This is something that nobody really does. No one's really introducing themselves to their stuff in general. And everything carries an energetic resonance. Everything carries an energetic vibration. So especially when I'm cleansing a home, I will literally kneel down in the doorway, the foyer, the entryway, whatever you want to call it. And this is true of homes, apartments, whatever. You can do this when you go on vacation and you're staying somewhere too. I kneel down and I evoke or invoke the energy of the space. And I introduce myself to the space and I say, I'm here with positive intentions. I'm here to make a peaceful, happy, long-lasting home for myself and my children, or myself and my partner, or myself and my pets, or all of the above. I go through and introduce the home to every single person and creature that's going to be inhabiting it. And I ask for the home to work with me to keep the energy vibration up and on the level that I want it to be at, or whatever vibration you're asking for it to be at, or that you're wanting your space to be at. Talk to the house and say, let's work together. I'm here to honor you. I would love for you to work with us. We are excited to be here. We promise to take care of you. Now, don't make promises that you're not intending to keep. So just let the house know, let the space know who you are and what your intentions are and how you're going to show up to the space. And then ask it to work with you. But I do the home introduction kind of at the end. So what I did first was I go through, I sage or I smoke cleanse. So if you don't like sage, you can use lavender, you can use rosemary bundles. People do all kinds of things. Sweetgrass is a really lovely smoke cleansing experience. Now, what sweetgrass is going to do is it's going to take the energy and neutralize it and raise it to a sweeter vibration. You can use Palo Santo. You do not have to do smoke. Some people have a really big allergenic problem with smoke, or some people are not allowed to. I've been asked many, many times, do the sage sprays work? Yeah, they totally do. So does Florida water. You can take Florida water and you can put it in a spray bottle. You can cut it with water, cut it with salt water, and put it in a spray bottle, and you can spray that around. And as you're doing it, okay, first of all, you're going to hold the object that you're cleansing with, whether it's the sage bundle, the Florida water. Do this with all your magical items all the time. Hold it, tell it who you are, tell it what you want it to do for you. And then as it's doing it, you're reinforcing what it's doing with your words and with your own energetic vibration. You are knowing that the smoke is cleansing the space. You are knowing that the spray is cleansing the space. You are knowing it because you're the one, you're the witch, who has taken control of the situation and is telling it what it's going to go ahead and do with itself. Okay, so go through, do that. Tell the energy, any negative energy that is in this space is going to go ahead and exit. Any energy that does not uplift or heal me, any energy that does not match my resonance, must go ahead and leave this space. So that's the first step. Second step would be that I do go ahead and follow up my smoke cleansing with Florida water and spray cleansing. Now, the smoke itself is going to tell you a lot about the space. Watch where it billows more. Watch where it catches extra. Watch where it heats up. Watch where it gets more intense. There's certain places in my home that really hold energy and really hold a lot of power. And I have had sage bundles just like reignite into flames again in those spots in the house. Now, I'm a professional witch. I'm a professional psychic medium. So there's a lot of energy always happening in my home. You're not doing it wrong if that doesn't happen for you. I'm literally working in this realm all the time. So of course I'm going to have certain areas that are hot spots. But if you find that you always have like arguments or disagreements with someone in a certain area of your home, I wouldn't be surprised if those areas have extra smoke or extra resonance. So pay attention to that. And you can go ahead and then extra reinforce those with some kind of additional follow-up spray. Another thing to do that I love to do to cleanse a home is to use sacred waters and floor sweeps. Now, I don't have an example of a floor sweep with me because we actually sent them all out in the subscription boxes recently. But a floor sweep is a bag that you're going to get. You're going to put a bunch of different magical, all herbs are magical. That's why I'm putting it in quotes. Everything is magical. You're going to put a whole bunch of different herbs into this floor sweep and salt. And you're going to throw the herbs all over the floor. And as you sweep them, you're going to be like, as I'm sweeping this, I'm cleansing the energy of this space. This floor sweep is gathering up all negative or errant or extra energy that doesn't match my resonance, okay? Including my own negative energy that I have left behind. A lot of people out here thinking that they're absorbing everybody else's energy. No one's aware how they're absorbing their own energy. We are our own worst culprits. We are the ones who are bringing our own energy down a lot. We are the ones out there getting affected by the world, shifting into some type of negative space and absorbing our own negative energy back onto ourselves because we are the most permissive of our own energy. So we don't have natural shields against our own energy. So if we're bringing in some type of mood, we don't have the natural protection against our own moods because it's our own energy. We're permissive about it. It's ours. So you want to go ahead and say, even my own bad vibes are going to go ahead and go out the door as I sweep. So does this energy leave my space. Side note, this is why witches and brooms get affiliated with each other, because back in the day, witches who were practicing in the open had to find ways to be practicing and casting without looking like they were doing much of anything. That's why candles are such a big part of witch work, because everyone had to light a candle. Now, certain candles that they were lighting were intention-infused candles, but everyone has to sweep their floor. See you later, bad energy, right? In addition to that, you can use these sacred waters to go ahead and bless your home. So this one is Stop Evil, and this is a bath and floor wash. So you can pour these into your tub so it'll cleanse your own energy, but you can put these in a big old bucket of water and mop your floors with them, or clean your windows with them, or clean really anything with them. This one is Stop Evil. This one is Peaceful House. This one's Keep Away Hate. There are waters that will do everything. Okay, so you can look these up. I get these on like wisdomproducts.com. I am not sponsored. That's just an actual free old tip out there. You can just get these kinds of oils and waters, and these aren't oils, but these are waters from anywhere. Yes, can you make them yourself? Absolutely. You can make them by infusing soap and other sacred herbs and oils and doing the wash that way. That's totally allowed. I just don't particularly have time for that. And these, I love Indio products. They definitely always work for me. So there's that. So I would go ahead and do either a floor sweep or a floor cleansing. With a floor sweep, you can also take those herbs that you're putting down in the salt blend with the herbs, and you can vacuum them up as well. It does work the same capacity. So if you don't have hardwood floors or tile floors or whatever kinds of floors, and you only have carpet, still scatter that stuff everywhere and vacuum it up, because you're vacuuming out that bad energy. All right, other things that you can do. So after I did those things, that's when I sat down, got on my knees, talked to the home, went into a meditation, and I also called in angelic and supportive energy. Now, I like to work with angels. A lot of witches don't like to work with angels because it's got a kind of Christian bias. For me, the word angel doesn't have to be a Christian thing, even though maybe technically it is. I'm just using the word angel to represent this really divine, master level energy source that helps when called upon. So I would fill the space with angels, and I would visualize the angels going through each room, blessing it and cleansing it according to what I was asking for. Now, in that portion of events, I will sit in the doorway of each room and do that. But I also like to use a selenite wand. I am the kind of witch who really works with selenite a lot. I use selenite wands as wands. I talk to all my selenite wands, I enchant them, but I also use them to open up portals and open up circles and all kinds of things like that. So because I use selenite in that way, it's easy for me to step into a room, open up the portal, call in angelic support and say, go ahead and cleanse this space and do this and this to it. And I hold that space for that angel to do that work through my meditative state where I'm sitting on the floor holding that energy, visualizing it happening. And then at the end, I close the portal and I say, thank you so much. You know, this room now is charged to go ahead and be a cleansing generator of sorts. So I do that in every room with my selenite wand. You don't have to use a selenite wand. You can make your own wand. You can go out inside and like grab a stick and make your own wand. I can do a whole separate video on how to make a wand. You don't need a wand. You can use your hand. Especially if you have Reiki, which I think I do. Actually, I was attuned to Reiki many years ago. You can use your Reiki hands to open up a portal and close the portal. And I will always use my hands in conjunction with my wand, or if I don't have a wand, my hand is actually really probably more effective, to be honest, but selenite's pretty. So after I do that, I go around and I take small pieces of selenite that I have, that I bring with me to a home that I'm cleansing, and I will place these selenite pieces in the 4 corners of the home. If it's a 2-level home, it's 8 pieces. Corner, 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 corner. Or as close as you can get to a corner. Before I do that though, I talk to them all and I say, you guys are gonna go ahead and make a grid. Selenite is a crystal that does not have to be cleansed or charged. This is why I use it for this purpose. I say, make your grid, and as you go, all day, every day, you're just connecting to each other through your grid. As you connect, you are cleansing and clearing the energy of this space. Cleansing and clearing constantly forever. That's what I'm telling it to do, so that's what it does. And because it doesn't need to be charged or cleansed, those grids just work permanently. Now you can go by from time to time and remind the grid of what it's doing, or talk to it, or thank it. Most important part, thank your magical items. Everyone's always forgetting to do that. Here's my cat. You on your video? She likes to sit in whatever chair I'm sitting in. Here she goes. She's gonna cross the video. So take selenite. This one just happens to be rounded on both ends, but usually I actually use square ones, and you don't have to do it that way. You can use whatever pieces you want. Can you please excuse us? I'm trying to do something. Thank you. Cats are good energy absorbers, so you can go ahead and ask your cats to clear the energy as much as you want to. Okay, aside from that, thank you. After I do that, after I place the selenite, after I've done the smoke cleansing, floor cleansing, a wash of some kind, and then placing the selenite, and also meditating with the angels to get the space to be whatever I want it to be. If there's a spot in the house that I feel like is really stuck or something like that, I will bring out my selenite, thank you, blade, and I will cut through any bad energy that I feel like is there, okay? It's not required. You don't have to have something like this. You can also use your hands to cut that energy away. I just like to do it because this is so super effective for me. The last thing I'll do is I will anoint all doorways. Oh my goodness. I love you. I'm trying to do this. Excuse me. I will anoint all doorways and windows. And I go through, you don't have to have anything specific to do this. You can use Florida water. You can use a blessed mixture of salt water. And you're gonna go through and tell doorways, thresholds, and windows that they are to remove negative energy and that they are to not allow negative energy to come in. If you want to, you can bless them with some sacred oils. Now, in general, I generally like to use oils that I make myself. If I can't do that, I will use an oil that I buy. I know this is kind of in reverse because it's on like selfie cam, but this is called peace oil. There's so many thousands of oils that you can buy that are magical oils. Bless the windows, bless the doorways with this peace energy, and say, as anyone passes through, their energy is cleansed and all negativity is removed, and they are infused with the energy of peace. Okay? Go ahead and bless your bed, bless your walls, bless your table, bless your windows, bless your doors. Putting this oil on things really does make a difference. You can also mix this in some water, take a paintbrush and draw some sigils on your doorways, your windows, your walls, whatever it is that you want. Clearly know your sigil beforehand, but even just drawing like the symbol of the pentacle. Pentacles are protection symbols. They are very, very ancient protection symbols. Pentacles have been found on the remains, like the archaeological remains of like ancient Babylonian sites that like are prehistoric even. So this is a really ancient symbol of protection, very much misunderstood and co-opted, of course, by like the patriarchy and monotheism, but it's a protection symbol. So if you don't know what sigil to put, go ahead and make yourself a pentacle on your doorways or whatever the case may be, and bless everything with whatever you want it to have. If you don't have some type of sacred oil, that's cool too. Bless some water. Put water in a container. Tell it what it's going to be, what it's going to do for you. Charge it to the vibrational resonance that you want it to have. I want you to be peace. I want you to be cleansing. I want you to be this. I want you to be that. And paint it on the doorways or the window frames of your choice with whatever kind of energy you want the home to have. You're going to tell the house what kind of energy is allowed in the house and what kind of energy has to go. In this way, you are commanding, you are taking charge, you are saying, this is my space, so in my space, this is how it's going to be, okay? So I bless everything with that. The last thing I do is I carve a white candle and a black candle. Right now I don't have candles of the same size because I am waiting for my shipment to come in, but I will carve a white candle and a black candle. The black candle is the protection energy for the home. I tell it what it's protecting me against and what it is removing from the space. And I anoint it appropriately with the appropriate oils and herbs. The white candle is the cleansing and elevating. I'm going to tell it what's going to kind of like not be allowed, but I'm also going to tell it how I want to fill the energy of the home. What's the energy vibration of the home? What is the home's new default? That is another thing I'm using the white candle for. I'm telling the home the new default that it's going to vibrate at, because if I don't, it's going to default to whatever it was at before. And homes are like anything else. The energy footprint that has been left there is going to be its default. That's not its fault. That's just the way that it is. So if you want to be living in someone else's energy residence that's been there the longest or the strongest, don't tell your home anything. If you want to be in charge of whatever the energy is in your space, you got to go ahead and tell it what that is. Because generally, if something's left to its default, if it's brand new, the default's neutral. If it is older and been there for a while, the energy is not neutral. And in fact, the things that tend to leave the strongest energetic resonance are generally negative experiences, just because it's so intense, and trauma leaves a really intense footprint, right? But if you are wanting it to be a positive energy, which I think most of us are, you need to take control of that space and tell it what kind of energy it's going to vibrate at. So that would be the last thing I would do inside the home, is to light those candles, set that intention. As this candle burns, the whole space of the house is now set, and it is held and enforced and kept in place by my selenite grids. Blessed be, and so it is so. Set it, forget it. Once you've set it, it is done. You know that it is done. You've done a good job. This is how you're going to cleanse the internal energy of the space. Last thing I do inside the space, I drop back down to my knees in the front door, in the back exit if there is one. I thank the home, I reinforce it. I ask it if it has anything it wants to share with me. I ask it if it has any requests of me for how it wants things to be done. Don't skip this step, because a lot of times the house does have requests. Hear those requests, tell it if you can honor those requests. Blessedly, thank you so much. And that's that. You want to take time once a year at minimum to be grateful for your space, to sit down and thank it, to light it a candle that's purely charged to the essence of gratitude. I really would love for everyone to be lighting gratitude candles so much more often than we think to. There's so much to be grateful for. The energy of gratitude is the energy of abundance. It's the one and the same. If you are working in your life to get out of a scarcity mentality or a scarcity thought process, really start to infuse your life with gratitude. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. I want your never-ending prayer to be thank you, because there is so much to be thankful for. And if we are thanking our space for taking care of us, our space feels appreciated, and everybody likes that. Now, to protect your energy outside, there's a whole bunch of people who have a problem with creating salt perimeters because it's bad for the plants and the soil. Totally get that. There is apparently salt that is safe for the soil. I'm not going to really weigh in one way or another. I don't feel like having that drama, but if you like to do a salt perimeter, okay, apologize to the earth. I don't know. Do your salt perimeter. You can also just do a perimeter of like some type of Florida water. You can bless water and do a perimeter that way. The point that I'm making is you're going to take something and you're going to create a perimeter that's your space. And that perimeter is like making an invisible fence of energy. That energy fence says, here's the kind of energy allowed inside, here's the kind of energy allowed outside. Nothing blah, blah, blah is allowed in this space. Anything that fits that criteria has got to get out now. Only positive, beautiful, uplifting energy or better is allowed in my space. Please note that I said or better, because I like to go ahead and tell spaces what kind of energy they can have, but then I also like to say this or better, this or greater, this or more beautiful, whatever, because I'm acknowledging that I don't know everything. I'm acknowledging that there might be an energy that's lovely that I haven't thought about, but as long as it meets my criteria and it's that or better, it's allowed in my space, okay? Anything negative or harmful has got to get out of here. And it doesn't have to be flowery words. It doesn't have to be said in some type of rhyme scheme. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be. And what the most important thing with anything that you're directing is that it has to mean something to you. You have to believe yourself. You have to feel connected to your own words. That's the most important thing. It's not the words that you're using. It's the fact that you feel connected to those words. So you'll walk the perimeter. If you don't have an outdoor space, you can go ahead and skip this step. Or you can just go outside your own door and bless your own door in whatever capacity it is. I like to bless my front doors or my entry and exit doors, make them little portals that are kind of like chemical showers. Like when you walk through this space, like everything gets cleansed. You also want to go ahead and put bells on your doorknob if you can, because bells are natural cleansers. Ringing a bell cleanses the energy because it increases the vibration. It just resonates at a higher level. Get a bell that is tuned to the frequency that you want your home to be at, okay? So you can go ahead outside, do that. Now I want you to do the same thing outside. I want you to get down on the ground, talk to the energy of the land, appreciate it, leave it some type of offering. It can be coins, it can be a crystal, it can be food, it can be whatever you'd like it to be, incense. That's something else I didn't talk about. You can use incense for smoke cleansing as well. So give your land an offering, acknowledge its space, get a visual of what it is, introduce yourself, tell it who you are, thank it for being present, thank it for allowing you to live there, recognize the land has been there long before you and it will be there long since after you, and that you are just here for a period of time and you're grateful that it is hosting you in this space, okay? Your outside spaces have a different energy than your inside spaces, right? It makes sense. Like I have a different energy than the room that I'm sitting in. same thing. So you're gonna do that. You can vary 4 pieces of selenite in the 4 corners of the property. Some people like to do dark black crystals, like a black kyanite, jet, obsidian, something like that. You don't have to do that. You can do selenite, you can do quartz. Quartz is so underrated. The reason I use selenite is because it is self-cleansing and self-charging. So I don't have to go in and dig things up and like cleanse their energy, because if this stuff is working right, it is absorbing negative energy. That is the point of it. Okay, so you're gonna do that and cleanse your outside spaces and set the parameters. I also like to make a gate going across my driveway, an energy gate, right? And in that energy gate, it says only people or energy or creatures or beings that fit a certain vibrational resonance may cross this threshold. And they may only come into my space if they have a certain energy. And if they have a different kind of energy, they're not able to enter my space. Now, important point, you can go ahead and undo your own work by inviting in people who have an energy that does not match the frequency that you have just worked so hard to set your home to. Don't go out there undoing your own energy work. Try your best to not invite in people who are hostile, aggressive, toxic, mean, whatever it might be. Try your best, if you are trying to get away from a certain type of person, don't have them come to your home. Or if you do, watch as they choose to sit in the car and wait for you to come out to them, because they just don't feel like they can come to your door. Anyone who is feeling like they can't come to your door, that's some information for you. When you know that you've cleansed and charged your home to a certain resonance and somebody can't enter, pay attention. Notice what you're noticing, because that's important. And then your job is to believe what you see and receive, and don't undermine your own work. Don't be the one who breaks your own spells. People do this all the time. People work so hard to create or cast a spell and it's working, and then they undo it through their own self-doubt or through their own inability to maintain boundaries. If you're doing a spell that's asking for something to change in your life, you also must change in your life in accordance with that spell, okay? Same thing here. If you are in the midst of an argument and you've just cleansed your house and suddenly something washes over you that's like, I could just let this argument go right now. Don't double down into your ego and say, no, I'm going to fight, I'm going to be right, I'm going to win. Because now you're just working against the energy of your home. If that energy washed over you, it's for a reason. It's for you to go, hey, the house is telling me that I am making the energy bad. Do I have to do that? Is there another way? Can I let this go for a second? Can I step off of the argument? Can I whatever, stop it? And that's a moment for you. And this is self-work. This is shadow work, actually. This is why I'm always saying witchcraft and self-work go hand in hand. Because that is a moment for you to say, what is it within me that wants to continue on this trajectory, versus hearing and sensing the energy that I'm being sent my way and saying, all right, I'm just going to make a different choice today. So there we go. That's a good way to start, by just cleansing your spaces. You can go ahead and cleanse your bed to the same degree, especially if you have like fear of certain issues happening at night. Bless your bed with certain oils, enchant it to not allow certain energy to be near it. But you can do this with all areas, with all things in your home, by just communicating, recognizing the innate energy within it, and taking charge of that energy yourself, and knowing that you are able to do that because you are the witch. I hope this has been helpful, and I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your day in your lovely new cleansed homes and spaces.